Hi, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I haven't been able to sleep for maybe an hour and a half already. So I thought I'd make a video. So I wanted to show you the ritual planner. So my life is fairly simple, and so I don't need a really complicated planner like some people do. But I wanted a planner that would incorporate the Sabbats and the moon and, all that stuff. Tarot, especially. So I bought this and I wanted to go over it with you, what I'm doing. So, so far I'm really liking it. So the first few pages are really what's in it, how to use it, and that kind of stuff. All explanations. So what I did notice is that the holidays are here, and I noticed that a few holidays are written on the side of the date. The Sabbats are, the dates for the Sabbats are not highlighted really good in here, but they have a list. So I made a note in here. I'm also probably going to get Llewellyn's planner, because that's what I usually use for my doctor appointments and my to-do list and that kind of thing, which won't be in here. This will be just for, kind of spiritual things and tarot. So it's really good. So let me see. Yeah, there we go. So she has a tarot spreads here. Questions that you could do for your tarot spread. So I'm not sure what this is for. I don't know if you're supposed to color it in or what, but it's really pretty. Then she has cheat sheets of all the tarot cards, which I think is really, really cool. I want to probably take the time to use color pencils or something to color coordinate the suits and that kind of thing. But she has them here separated, but it's just easier to see. That's why I don't have very many black and white tarot cards. For me, they're harder to see, and my vision isn't all that good, and that's a whole other thing which I'm going to get into later on in the video. So I want to color coordinate them, and so because that would make it much easier to find them quicker. And what is that? Oh, astrological right now. Astrologically, I know squat. Nothing, zero. I know that there are houses. I don't know what each of them represents. I know the sun signs. I don't know them by heart or what they represent. So this is really like a learning experience for me. So what I did was, I have this book, which has been a big help. It really gave me a basic understanding up until, let's see, where am I? Up until like 3/4 of the way. Now it's starting to get into more, I think, complicated things. But as a start, this is great. I also have this book on astrology, which is going to be great. This is probably a lot more complicated and everything, and way thorough. Ivy Corvus, who has a channel, she is pretty well versed in the occult and stuff. And she says that this book has it all. You only need that one book. So I have that, which I will be using. So, let's see. Then she also has like a birth chart here, which I did not fill in. So I'm kind of behind on doing some of this stuff. I have printed out my birth chart, and I have it laminated so I could refer to it back as many times as I need without ruining the paper. So I'm going to print a smaller one and paste it in here. And she's got the houses here, which I have not done this yet. I don't understand any of this stuff or how to use it, but I'll figure it out. So this is the year ahead, and this starts in August, which is this month. So it's not too late to get started. You could catch up. So I did the first house. I mean, this is for tarot. What does that say? Oh, the energy of the year, the August. Pull a card for each month, the year ahead spread. I haven't done that. You could do them each month as you go, or you could do them all at once. I choose to do them for now 1 month at a time because there's more work I want to do in here. So, and they have little things here for you to put your stickers. It did come with 2 pages of stickers of tarot cards. These are blank, which I think I might use to list tarot decks that I would like to have, because I don't have the money like I used to buy tarot cards all the time, and I don't really need them. I have a whole chest full of tarot decks, but there are some that I really want. You know, I want to get that one, and then sometimes I'll have the money and I'll think, what was the name of that deck? So this is going to work out really good for that. So it starts in August, and what is this? How I want to feel energized, looking forward to, need to let go of, planning and focusing. This is presenting, I don't know, goals for this month. They have a habit tracker, which I don't use. I don't use a habit tracker at all. And so that's that page. So this is August. She has a tracker for which cards you pull. And already I've used it because I've noticed that I have already been choosing, I've already been pulling a lot of major arcana and court cards. And so I was getting frustrated. I'm like, come on now, give me the other half of the tarot cards. So you just mark them off as you go. And she just has notes here for what you want. So this is this is the energy of the month regarding love, money, work, health, and spirit. So I did that. This is the month at a glance, so you can see. So you can see that this is dark of the moon or full moon. I don't know. I got to look at it. I can't see too far. So that's that. So what I started out doing was pulling a card of the day, and then I was writing about how it affects me. And I'm not getting much out of that because I'm retired. I don't have an active life. My family lives pretty far from me, so I don't have a lot of interaction. You know what I mean? I don't have a lot of things going on. I'm in my golden years, you might say. So I live a fairly quiet life, and that just was getting boring. So what I decided to do was to move, and for each card, I'm writing what I find out about that card. And then I decided what I'm going to do for this part. She has like a to-do list. These are all to-do lists. So what I'm going to do, instead of using this as a to-do list, because this book is like too cumbersome to pull out and do a to-do list for me every day, I'm going to do like this is all based on Rider-Waite, this whole thing. So I'm going to be doing Rider-Waite on this side, and on this side I'm just going to use it for Thoth. So I'm going to be, and it's really kind of fun and interesting to see what Thoth says about the card as opposed to Rider-Waite. So that's how I'm using that. So I decided to go ahead and do that. She has special pages for the new moon. And she has like full moon cycles here. Then she has the study for the sun sign. And then she has a full page for the full moon of the month. And again, extra pages where you can write whatever you feel like it. These separators, tabs are really nice. They're really pretty. And she puts little blurbs in there about that. So then you start with the next month over and over again. So I am behind now, and that's because and by the way, this comes with a like tie thing and a loop for your pen and a thing to keep it close. I really like it, so I'm doing well with that. But I've fallen behind because what was the first reason I started falling behind? I'm not that far behind, maybe 2 days, but I think I got behind because I was like having to reorganize my home so that all my shit fits in here. I have a lot of stuff, and I bought this house, and I shouldn't have bought it because it's just too small. So, and I keep things. I'm not like the kind of person, now I'm going to throw that away. I do that, obviously I do that with some stuff, otherwise, you know, you turn into what do you call those people that keep everything? A hoarder. I'm not a hoarder, but I do keep things. So, I'm reorganizing things to make it neat. It was like chaos in here, and I was getting all crazy because it made me feel so out of control. So I went through some stuff, and I'm slowly but surely thinning some stuff out. Why? So I could buy new stuff and bring it in. You know, I bought some occult books over the years that didn't suit me, or I already had information, it was a duplicate of information, or I didn't like the author, whatever it was. I'm getting rid of some of those. Because I did order now a book on the Thoth deck, because I don't have any information on the Thoth other than that one deck. So I did order that. That's coming Monday. And then I'm getting rid of some stuff and getting it more organized. And so it's still quite stuffed in here, but I think it's becoming more livable. So and I felt like I couldn't really concentrate on this because my house was a mess, because it was like too crowded. So that's what got me behind to begin with. And then, okay, here's my current rant and bitch and complain. So what happened was, and I know you guys probably gonna think I'm crazy, but so anyway, I wear glasses. And they're kind of thick glasses, but I have them chiseled down the glass, so I'm not wearing a ton of, you know, Coke bottles on my face. So I went to the eye doctor last year, and they gave me a new prescription and said, well, you know, your eyes aren't that bad, they haven't changed that much. Well, they haven't changed that much because I haven't really been able to read like I like to. Reading has become a struggle. I've noticed that. Reading road signs are a struggle. Sometimes watching TV is a struggle. And even though I just saw the doctor and got a new prescription, like a month later I felt like I was right back where I started. So, to cut to the chase, I went and saw another optometrist. And he said to me, well, the reason why your vision hasn't improved with the new glasses is because your cataracts are bad. And he says, I'm pretty sure that you need cataract surgery. So he referred me to this ophthalmologist, and this office was really a really nice office. And and they treated you really nice in there. I mean, I couldn't believe how nice these people were, and accommodating, and just trying to cater to your needs. Well, I found out why later on, but anyway. So I go in there, so first of all, you go in, you sit down, and they have you fill out this form, and it says, you know, your insurance may not pay all of it, and this visit could cost you as much as $500. So do you want to pay cash up front? Do you want to wait for your insurance? What do you want to do? So of course I picked, well, I have insurance, I want to know how much I need to pay. So they said, well, you're going to have to pay like today. So I did that, and it came to $350 that my insurance would not pay for this initial exam for cataract surgery. So have that done, and Then I see the doctor, and he says, yeah, you're a candidate for cataract surgery, and blah, 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 blah. We're going to set you up to have all of this taken care of. So I go, okay. So they have me come back the next day for measuring my lenses for the lenses they're going to implant. So I come the next day, and again they do more tests and more measuring and all this stuff. Then they take me into another room, and they have me speak with the lady that talks to me about the lenses, the actual lens implants they're going to put in my eyes. And she explains to me that there are several different kinds of lenses. Okay. One is just a standard lens for standard problems and that kind of stuff. The next three are for people who have, what do they call it? Astigmatism, which I have in both eyes. So of course the lenses become more expensive. So astigmatism is when your retina, I think it's your retina, instead of being round, has the shape of a football, which affects your vision. So I needed the fancier kind of lenses. So she goes through all of them, and she says they're all gonna, the first one you can't use because that's just for standard ones, and the last one the doctor did not recommend for you because you're not a candidate for that kind of lens for whatever reason. So she gave me two choices of lenses. So, and they each will work, and you'll have different results with both of these different choices. So I want to get rid of these glasses, not because I'm worried about how I look. It's not a vanity thing. I just feel uncomfortable wearing glasses all the time. In fact, I even sleep with them on, which is, I know I'm not supposed to, but I do. And I just want to be done with all the having to buy glasses, having to go to the doctor. I just want to be done. I just want my eyesight repaired. So I picked, of course, the more expensive one. So then she leaves, and she sends in another person. And anyway, we went through like several people going in and out. First I spoke with one person, then she left, she brought in another person, then she left, she brought in this other person that talked to me about, guess what? Money. So this dog is going to drive me crazy. Guess how much they want? $6,000 this thing is going to cost me out of my pocket. That isn't the amount that's being billed to the insurance company. It's probably going to be, I think, between probably $6,500. That's my guess. And I'm like, are you crazy? And so they had already scheduled me for the end of this month to have my first eye done. And when she said, when I saw the prices, I said to her, I think I'm going to wait until next year, and I'll change insurances and I'll get Medicare. And she said to me, no, Medicare won't pay for these lenses either. Medicare and insurance companies won't pay for anything except the standard lenses, because they view it as just cosmetic. And it's not. It's a matter of convenience and being comfortable and not having to purchase new glasses every year and that kind of thing. That's what it's about for me. So they're not going to... So the lenses, if I saw the price, I got started to get upset because, let me tell you, in this room where I said that they had one person come in and leave, another person come in and leave, and another person, you know what it reminded me of? A used car salesman office, where they get you in that office and they have all these people to come in and beat you down so you sign on the dotted line. And that's what it felt like, and I started getting edgy. So when she started showing me the prices of the lenses, and there was, I think it was $2,700, I said to her, that's per lens each? And she said, yeah. Then you need $70 for the medication, which your insurance doesn't pay for. You need the surgery center copay, and it doesn't even And she didn't even start to tell me how much it was going to cost for the doctor. So, because, no insurance is going to pay 100%, for the, well, I guess some. But my insurance, I don't think would pay 100% for the doctor. So I'm figuring that all in all, it's going to cost me a big bundle. And I'm like, so now I'm pissed because I already paid the $350 for the initial visit. And now I don't want the surgery. So that money just gets lost. You know what I mean? So this is my big gripe with the medical community, the whole medical community, and the dental community in the United States. They feel like they have the right to surprise you with a bill. Unexpected, you know what I mean? And the thing that bothers me is, even though they were telling me this now prior to the surgery, I had to pay the $350 to begin with. And so I feel like this whole system is set up to initially get some money going in, and then hopefully you're not going to want to throw, good money after bad. You're not going to want to waste that, so you're going to continue. And it's just the whole thing that I don't care for. Because your plumber gives you a good estimate before he works on it. A contractor will give you a good estimate. All these things give you really good estimates on how much this thing is going to cost you, whatever it is, but not in the medical field. And I just feel that that's wrong in today's society. You can't slap a bill on a patient, And I was pissed because it was a wait. If I had known ahead of time that this was going to cost me between probably $6,500, I would have probably said no, and I probably wouldn't have spent the $350 on the initial visit. You see what I'm saying? So I got pissed, and I got up, and I basically said no, and I walked out. So, but the thing is, I really need to have this surgery because they're starting, at the DMV, they're starting to test older people for eye exams when your license is renewed. Because even though there's plenty of illegal immigrants on the road with no license, they're going to punish the old people if they can't see. They're not going to have a license. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. But anyway, so I'm afraid I'm going to lose my license, and if that happens, I'm going to be up Schitt's Creek. I can't allow that to happen. So I'm trying to, and plus, that's almost my whole entire life savings that they want. And then they do it in such a used car salesman kind of way. Oh, well, we do have credit. And so if you're on Social Security and a small pension, how are you even going to make the monthly payments if you're renting? If you don't, so it's like a whole thing that just bothers me. So anyway, I got mad and I walked out, and I think what I want to do is to talk with another doctor, because this lady is telling me that these prices for these lenses, Medicare won't pay for them and your insurance won't pay for them. So I'm thinking probably a lot of insurances won't pay for them, not the kind for astigmatism. So I'm wondering if the price for the lenses in this particular office have a high markup. Maybe I can find another ophthalmologist that doesn't have as high as a markup for the lenses. So that's going to be my goal. But the thing that pisses me off, and this is the part where you're probably going to think I'm crazy, it is absurd, it's really out there, but I'm the type that I have to get it off my chest. So you know, I watch a lot of YouTube. I'm up on politics and the news, and our government is finding at every turn corruption and fraud with our tax dollars. So I have emailed the White House and my senator for Florida, and I said, all my tax dollars went to non-government organizations, which the government just hands them out, these organizations, federal money, which originated in our taxes, which you and I pay for, and they give it to these non-government agencies, and they don't monitor them to see what they do with the money. So it went. So many of it went to fraud and corruption. Like, people are just stealing our money. So I wrote the government. I wrote to the White House, and I wrote to my congressman. I said, I want you to refund all my tax dollars because basically you stole it. Give me back my money and give it back to every tax dollar to American citizens that you stole from. You're responsible for it because you didn't watch what they spent their money on. You had no guardrails. You just handed out our tax dollars as if it was M&Ms. So give me my money back, and I'll use that money to have my surgery. Give it back. I'm not eligible for Medicaid. I'm not eligible for food stamps or anything like that. And meanwhile, you know, there's plenty of people in this country that are getting all these big benefits that are being doled out with no guardrails at all. Here, just take it, which is my money. I want it back. So that's what I did, and I'm toying with the idea of writing up a formal letter. Maybe I'll get AI to help me write it, and literally sending it to personally paper letter to every to as many congressmen as I could possibly afford stamps on. I think that there should be a movement to have the government refund our money that they stole. And they also stole from Medicare all this time, all these years people were putting into Medicare, and the government used it for their slush fund, and they stole it, and they continue to do that. So I think we have to start talking about it, and so that's, I know, has nothing to do with tarot and witchcraft and that kind of stuff, but in a way it does. Because when they steal all my money, I don't have money to buy a new deck a lot of times. I don't have money for my eyesight so that I can, you know, even look at a deck or read a book about a deck. So it does, in a way, by extension, affect that. And so I want my money back. So since this just happened yesterday that I got so pissed off, so yesterday after I left the doctor's office, I was so upset I couldn't go home, so I went window shopping. I didn't buy anything because I didn't have any money. So I went window shopping, and while I'm out, the surgery center calls me, and they say, oh, you know, they start talking about this, that, and the other thing. And I said, wait, stop right there. I'm canceling the surgery. And she said, well, do you mind if I ask why? And I said, because I don't have the $6,000 to pay for it. And she says, oh, well, I don't blame you. And I went off on a tangent with her. And she said, you know, you're right, that they should be upfront and tell you how much it's going to cost and all this shit. And she said that the surgery center copay is $250. So when you add all this up, it comes out to about $6,500 is my guess. So I'm not happy, and I'm very aggravated and agitated because I've had this kind of experience with the medical field before. They'll send you an email, your copay is $45, and down the road you find out what you really owe is like $300, and they just feel like they could spring it on. Don't get me started. So I wish I had more talent and skills to be an activist in this kind of thing, but I'm just not. It's just not my personality. But I do have a big mouth, and I intend to use it. So, anyway, Um, anyway, back to this. This is really good. I like it. And I'm pleased I got it, even though it's kind of expensive. For my income, anyway, what I live on is kind of expensive. But you know what? Some person might say, well, if you didn't spend so much on this stuff, you'd have the $6,500. Well, the thing is, that's true. But I can't sit in my house, do nothing, and look at the four walls for the rest of my life. I might as well be dead. I have to have some enjoyment, some happiness, some interest. You have to have those to keep you going. Because if you don't, you're gonna fall into depression, and it's going to affect your mental health. Then it's going to affect your physical health, and you're going to go downhill from there. So to me, this is a very healthy thing I'm doing, even though I'm spending money, which could have gone to my eye surgery. And so always remember that having an interest, a hobby, whatever it is that keeps you going is a healthy thing to do, even if it costs you money. So, and it's not that expensive when you consider that the surgery is $6,500. This was like $50. I bought this years ago when I was working, when I had money to burn. So I bought this used. I do try and economize whenever possible. And that's why I don't buy as many decks, because there's no need for it. It's just a want. And I have to direct that money elsewhere. Now, there are things about my house that I want to spend more money on to be more organized and make it neat. So, those things are necessary too. So you can't just give somebody money and just say, here, live off it, and you know what I mean? So anyway, I just wanted to bitch and complain again. So this is turning into, it's funny because this is turning into an occultist, a witchcraft tarot channel, but also a kind of rant. Because you know why? Because I know everybody else out there has their problems too. I mean, how many of us are rich enough to say, oh, this only costs $6,000? Oh, sure, I'll do that. I mean, I'm sure everybody else is struggling too. Or most of you out there are probably have your own struggles. So anyway, that's why I do it, because I know that you can like relate to what's going on with me. So anyway, it's what time is it now? I already made coffee. It's like, what time is it now? 3 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, it's almost 4 o'clock. So, but anyway, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.